Hey guys, Honk Honk, welcome back. Oh boy, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Don't worry, I won't do that every time, but Honk Honk, you drunk goose. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm just excited to have you all. Today we are going to, see, it threw me off. Let me try that again. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Meghan Markle back in the news. We got Dan Wooten, who usually has quite a few things to say about Harry and Meghan, out with an article for the Daily Mail. I thought, you know what? Let's take a look at it. Let's read through it. Let's discuss amongst ourselves. All right. Dan Wooten says Taylor Swift's brutal rejection of Meghan Markle's plea to appear on her podcast proves stars want proximity to real royals, not the bitter Sussexes. That's why I'm told Harry and the desperate Duchess, ooh, I love that, desperate Duchess, you guys, will be dropped by Netflix next. Oh my goodness, let's take a look at this. Plates are flying all over Montecito as we speak. All right, a written rebuke from Taylor Swift can be a bitter pill with grave consequences to one's reputation. Just ask her famous ex-boyfriends, John Mayer, Joe Jonas, Harry Styles. But in the case of Meghan Markle, it's somewhat ironic that its lack of a note from an undisputed queen of American entertainment that was enough to represent the end of the queen of victimhood's Hollywood dream. It has emerged via an excoriating expose into the Sussexes' failed business career in the Wall Street Journal that Meghan had penned a personal letter, no doubt in calligraphy. You guys, that calligraphy. Asking Taylor to appear on her soon-to-flop podcast, Archetypes. Now, in case you missed it, I did go into this part of it in a separate video, so go back and find this one. It was posted on Monday. All right, so the pop megastar declined, but significantly not via personal note back to the desperate Duchess. Nope, the rejection came from a representative, as if Taylor was turning down just another interview with one of the countless TV shows, podcasts, or tabloid newspapers who make bids on a regular basis. Since Spotify's $20 million deal with Harry and Meghan came to an end last week, we've learned just how ill-equipped the couple were for a real job that required hard graft, imagination, and strong working relationships. It's almost like she wants to just lay around on a yacht or something. You guys, I get really irritated about all of this. I do. I take it very personally. As we all do, we're all working our you-know-whats off just to make ends meet or just save up for whatever we're saving for, that down payment, whatever it is. But yet, she can't be bothered. They can't be bothered to do what the few interviews they actually had to do to make that $20 million check. I can't wrap my head around that much money. So to not put in the work, I'll never forgive that. But it's also become obvious how the pair's little black book of contacts that they were convinced would pull through for them in the moment of financial need is far thinner than they ever wanted to believe. Hollywood celebrities and American A-listers loved Harry and Meghan when they were members of the British royal family. As a bitter and twisted grenade throwers on a kamikaze mission to bring down the monarchy, even as the highly respected late Queen and Prince Philip were close to death, not so much. Yep, it's the ego on both of them. They couldn't be bothered to do the work that any of us would work around the clock for even a fraction of that amount of money. They can't be bothered. You know, Meghan was really busy, you guys, talking about herself. And I don't know what, Harry's busy eating crayons, so no telling with that guy. But seriously, can't be bothered to do the work. And I do hope it's a rude wake-up call for both of them. But truly, it won't be. They lack the self-awareness. They don't have the ability to see, well, I think her especially. Well, actually, no, both of them. They don't have the ability to see that anything that they're doing is wrong. I keep thinking about old Harold of Harold Fraud over there. Hanky is convinced he single-handedly could save journalism. And he's also convinced, as he said in Spare, he single-handedly could have saved the monarchy. How? He can't elaborate. He can't even string words together. So how? Nobody knows, but he's convinced he can, so it's their truth. Being publicly associated with Harry and Meghan on a work project is not worth the potential bad damage for any bona fide star, especially one like Swift, who has spent years building up a working relationship with Prince William, who represents the future of the royals. To which, in a very grown-up fashion, I'll say, suck on that, Harry and Meghan. How does that taste? I hope you read this article and cry on the floor about it. Oh my God. But my question to you all is, do you think that Harold, I know it's not his name. I always get comments. There's always one. It's not his name. I know. That's the joke. Do you think he ever secretly texts William? Do you think he ever just tries to keep that connection? I'm just curious. I just wonder. Again, I don't think he possesses any thought of anybody but himself and Meghan. So I just don't know. But I just wonder, do you think he's trying to text William? Although, yeah, he probably is, because he needs more content for Netflix, right? That was a whole plot point in the first Netflix disaster where he showed the phone to Meghan pretending that it was a text from William. I don't believe anything these two say. I truly think it was a ploy by this one, the schemer, and not the other one, the thinker. I'm using giant sarcasm and air quotations on that one. I think the schemer came up with that one just to keep their name associated with Prince William. But you messed up big time, didn't you? You had to go after his wife and 4-year-old. So, yeah, I can't imagine he's waiting to welcome you back. Harry, I wonder about, I don't know. I just think Harry's done too much. I don't know. I mean, maybe you just keep him at an arm's length. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking about when they divorce. Then Wooten goes on to say, not to mention former allies like the Obamas, who still hold genuine political clout in the liberal U.S. circles, Meghan, who still has the unshakable confidence to believe she could one day end up in the Oval Office herself, covets. You guys, have you ever seen the delusion? It boggles my mind. It really does. Okay. That's part of the reason why I'm convinced Netflix is now desperate to follow Spotify out the door and sever their formal $100 million, I just don't believe it's a $100 million deal, with the Sussexes when it expires in 2025. A senior Hollywood source told me Netflix wants out too. They're envious that the Spotify exit could come so quickly. The contract with Harry and Meghan hasn't delivered, and it's been a nightmare to navigate from start to finish. I can only imagine. I don't like Netflix for that crap that they put out, but I do like the thought of that. And actually, it's kind of karma for both, right? Now Netflix has to deal with these two. But can you imagine the dumb stuff that Harry's peddling and the me of Meghan? No. I don't know how you make anything out of that. Such a ruthless end to the couple's desire to launch an entertainment empire might seem savage, but they only have themselves to blame. In the early overtures between both companies and the Sussexes, executives were led to believe that they had Britain's answers to the Kardashians on their hands, albeit with more of a left-wing political motivation, which suited their woke new employers just fine. The couple were prepared to get their hands dirty, put themselves personally at the heart of the various projects appear regularly on the screen. But Netflix and Spotify were sold a dud. Cool. Raise your hand if you're a dud. Okay, got it. Now, I don't get political here, so I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what side of the aisle I'm on. I don't want to talk about it. I will say these two seem to unite both sides, and how much, we can't stand them, but, and how much we won't watch their stuff. But, yeah, I just don't see it as political. Even if she has aspirations for political office, I don't know. I mean, good luck with that. You can't even get people to listen to your podcast. And if it's too hard to work that hour a week that you reported on your taxes, then, I'd say pretty much any other job's going to be too hard for you. Sorry. The reality is, even now, as huge stars, the Kardashians work really bloody hard. Ooh, bloody's such a fun word. I never think to say that. I'm going to try to work that in. They work really bloody hard. See, I'm an honorary UK, I believe you guys say in Australia as well. I'm not sure. Wherever you guys say it, I like it. I'm here for it. Okay, they work really bloody hard. They have grafted for their big new Disney contract and underestimated the expectations of what's required in terms of access to their lives in exchange for such a monumental deal. That's because they can't tell the truth about anything. We'll never get anything of substance from these two. Is that pap on the scooter again? Yeah, he's been chasing us. No, it's an Uber Eats guy. We're in a nearly catastrophic car chase. No, you're just stuck in traffic. Nothing's real. Nothing's real. Sorry, I'm yelling. In stark contrast, Spotify and Netflix got Dippy Harry and Difficult Meg, the masters of big ideas and even bigger promises, which almost certainly never come to fruition. As the Wall Street Journal reported, Archwell employees and associates say the company often lacks direction and that its founders at times seem surprised by the work required to finish entertainment projects. In Harry's case, his search for a podcast to host became farcical. So this is wild, and I want to give Lady C credit for this because she put it so well in her book. It was Harry and Meghan, The Real Story. We read through it. She points out that Meghan seemed to have no problem showing up, doing what was expected to her. Yes, we heard about terrible attitude problems on set later on, but throughout, she still, even if she had a shitty attitude, she showed up. She did what was expected to her. She put in whatever the hours were. She'd sit around and wait for her to turn, whatever it was. Again, before her ego really kicked in. So I could make a case for why Harry would have no idea how the real world works. He would lack a lot of understanding of a lot of things, right? Being raised the way he was. Although William doesn't seem to lack those things and he had similar experiences, but that's, another issue. Let's go back to Meghan. Okay. So in theory, she had to show up and do the work. So why is she surprised now? She just thought marrying this dud would give her a free pass for life. I'm guessing that's what it is. His completely impractical and impossible to deliver ideas included interviewing, as we called them before, Vodka, Meta, and Orange about childhood trauma, and Pope Francis about religion, according to Bloomberg. I'm sorry, I did a whole video on that too. Can you imagine? This idiot trying to even write down a sentence or a single question. I can't. Meghan would write them for him, but then the questions would be about her. So, yeah, no, it was never going to work. And who wants to talk to this idiot anyway? Who wants to be associated, right? It's not as if Spotify didn't try to get things going. They even helped build a studio in the couple's enormous Montecito mansion, of which their contract helped secure their mega mortgage. Damn, so I didn't even think about that. I dumbly assumed they used some of the money that they got to secure a place. I didn't even think about it being in their home and bought and paid for by Spotify. Of course. Why wouldn't I think about that? Of course they did that. Also, what's up, Zombie Meg? I looked up and saw this picture. I'm trying to use different pictures in this one because I get sick of staring at the same pictures. There's only so many to choose from as she only did 72 engagements. But this Zombie Meg picture makes me laugh because if you look at this was, I believe, an Invictus game. She was making a big deal about standing up and being photographed. She wanted to be spotted in the crowd. So there she is, looking good, Meg. Or as one of you lovely drunk geese called her, smugly duckling. In exchange, they had Meghan hounding the company's top executives with requests for last-minute changes to her own podcast. Oh my goodness. I didn't even... See, again, I hadn't heard about the logistics. Now, I did know that they hired a fact checker. Just let that sink in. They hired a fact checker for their own podcast to check what they're saying because they can't keep stories straight. Just think about that. Megyn Kelly had reported on that, and that sticks in my head. Why do you have to hire a fact checker for your own podcast? It'd be like me saying, hey, guys, it's cool. I have this new person here with me. It's, I don't know, pick a name, Toby. Hey, Toby. Toby's here to fact check me. And then Toby cuts his like, Jen, remember you said, well, we'll use an example from Meghan. Meghan straight up said, I took French for 4 years, and then went on Craig Ferguson and said, I studied it for 8 years. I might have that backwards. She may have said 8 years somewhere else in 4 years. But there's clips of her contradicting herself on several occasions. She went from 4 years to 8 years and then back to 4 years again. So, yeah, I need a fact checker. Come on, Toby, where are you? I don't know who Toby is. Here's a fact I won't forget. I cannot stand either of these two. Anybody want to be my fact checker? We'll just sit around and talk crap about them. As the United Talent Agency Chief Executive Jeremy Zimmer, one of Hollywood's biggest power players, told Semaphore in Cannes over the weekend, turns out Meghan Markle was not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. And just because you're famous doesn't make you great at something. Oh, ooh, I love it. The hits keep on coming from these two. Couldn't have happened to a nicer couple, right? I don't even kind of feel bad, though. I just, if I accidentally start to think, well, they're human, I think, no, they're awful people that did that to the Queen. So, no, don't feel bad at all. Enjoy the hell of your own making. At one point, Harry and Meghan are said to have even pitched a vague TV project tackling misinformation. Shut your mouth right now. I need 14 hours to talk about this. They pitched a project to tackle misinformation. Cool. The first project I'd like to see them take on in terms of misinformation is any one of their own projects. I want to hear all about the misinformation from the Oprah interview because I can't think of a time where we have been lied to more and it's come out so clearly about all the lies. So yeah, let me know how that misinformation thing goes. And you know what? I want to give you all, yes, you who are listening and commenting, all the credit because you left me the most amazing comments. I love reading your comments about when I posted, I don't know what day this will go up, but I'm assuming it's yesterday. Monday, I posted about the bad manners thing and how they are trying to possibly rework a Dickens character. It doesn't matter. I go back and watch that video. It's actually one of my favorite videos. It turned out really good. I ended up going into how can they possibly be involved with a show called Bad Manners, and I go through all their bad manners. So go check that out. But where was I going with this? No, okay, sorry, comments. You guys left me so many comments saying, why are they under the delusion to think that they are experts in anything or even, let's take expert out of it, able to speak on anything? What talents do they actually have? Maybe bad manners is one of their talents, a lot of you said. So yeah, maybe they are qualified for that, but not in the way that they think. But truly, it's just pure delusion at this point, right? What is making them think that they could or should be speaking about anything or qualified to do anything or teach anything? And that's hard for me to say because I've said it before. I feel like you can learn something from pretty much anybody, not these two. I don't understand what they have to offer or what they bring to the table at this point. Then Wooten continues, the only misinformation that ended up emanating from this deal was the Sussexes' claim they'd be creative masterminds deserving of being handed tens of millions of dollars by producing stellar and compelling entertainment shows and podcasts. Just like the royal family discovered, working with these two provides no end of headaches and very little in terms of benefits. I'm going to add one funny thing. One of my favorite, I'm going to toot Jay's horn for a second, but one of my favorite thing that Jay says all the time is basically they're idiots, but I don't want them to shut up because they say really crazy and dumb things, especially him, and he finds it so funny. He's almost like whatever lets them keep talking kind of makes me laugh. But no, I agree with what Wooten's saying is just, oh my God, no end of headaches and very little, I would say little to none in terms of benefits. Meanwhile, Prince William today has launched one of the most audacious social projects ever tackled by a royal with a goal of ending homelessness in 5 years. That is amazing. It's risky, darling, and high stakes. Exactly the sort of public service mission you would have thought that Harry and Meghan could have championed through the unprecedented reach provided to them by the biggest streaming platforms in the world. But as Taylor Swift once opined, with Netflix preparing to join Spotify and pulling the plug, the option is gonna go down in flames. Oh man, couldn't have happened to a better pair of grifters now, could it? I did pull a few comments that I want to read real quick. Now, I assume that somebody posted this unsarcastically, but I'm choosing to read it sarcastically. You ready? Leave, all in exclamation or all in caps, Meghan alone. She's a hero for what she's survived. I just want you to look at the thumbs down rate. I think that, let's see, 72 thumbs up, 1,915 thumbs down. And granted, this article has not been out. Actually, it says it was an hour ago. So yeah, that should tell you where people are landing on that. But seriously, what has she survived? I would say that, in fact, just a reminder that people that have worked for her or alongside of her they have a name called the Sussex Survivors Club. She hasn't survived shit. And now for a more reasonable comment, we have, thank goodness William was born before Harry. I think at some point we have all said that. I've said that. I've read your comments saying that. Thank goodness for that. Well, you guys, as more comes out about this, you know I'll be talking about it. As always, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have the best day. Jay is putting the finishing touches on that Drunk Goose Club merch, so definitely check back for that. And check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.